that also like realizing that just knowing that isn't enough, right? There's a point when you're like, oh, I see, this is all, this is this wiring that, like you, as you call it, that was sort of installed when I was pre-language, probably. Like it's so wild. Ancient and I don't even know sometimes that that's what's happening. And now I see it, and now I understand that like I'm being driven by these things that what were planted so long ago, and that should be enough. And then realizing, oh my God, that's just like the very beginning of starting to like change some of that habitual.
Because you have to choose against your instincts, which are faulty. So it's very unsatisfying. The cure is making different choices for yourself, and they don't feel great because they're not honoring, how you get fed emotionally. Right. So everything feels a little flat.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you're starving, right? Like you're emotionally starved.
Right.
God
damn it.
I have to like be able to endure. Yeah.
Where's the drama?
Right.
It's on the stage now. Good for you. Congratulations. But you talk about that, and I feel bad that I kind of, correcting language is important in the sense that, me saying someone who's willing to put up with it, it is not, taking into consideration what abuse does to people and what fear does to people and what, honoring, that victimness does to people, in terms of they might not see a way out for themselves.
Right. And the fact that they might be right. I mean, that was one of the discoveries for me too. Actually, when I listened to Jessica's case, to the case we talked about earlier, and learned the statistic that like the most dangerous moment for a woman in that situation, living with an abusive partner, or a person living with an abusive partner, is the moment that they decide to leave. That's just statistically when they're most likely to be harmed or killed. So there's also a kind of unassailable logic at work, which is like, I'm actually in a position and there's no good answer. Like I stay and I'm in danger, I leave and I'm in danger. So also just realizing the enormous stakes of making a decision to leave someone. I mean, obviously this is a spectrum, right? There's leaving an emotionally abusive partner, and then there's leaving a physically abusive partner. But, just sort of realizing like all of the factors that are in play that make it about so much more than like whether someone's willing to leave or stay.
Right. And, obviously all of this is discussed in relation to your family, in relation to this case, and in relation to what type of protections the Constitution provides for us. But like, I don't want this, like, I feel like we're talking about this and people are gonna be like, God, I'm not going to see this show. This is like, holy shit, I can barely get through this conversation. But I just want to make clear there's a lot of levity. There's a lot of fun in the show. Yes. There's comedy. There's, there's provocative things. And you bring a high school student up to debate with you on whether to abolish a constitution or keep the Constitution. What are the benefits of keeping it? Because there are people that are protected that would be harmed if you abolish it in the interim of creating the new one. Like, it's all very fun and good and exciting. There's a gay man on stage that comes out and talks. There's something for everybody.
There is something for everybody. I mean, I hope. And it is also very funny. I mean, I really thought it was going to be a comedy when I started. Like I said, I thought just like the 80s permed hair and the fun 15-year-old girl. And I thought it would be like a cheeky comedy or something. And I think that spirit remains.
No, I think structurally it's not a tragedy. It's not a drama. I mean, structurally the arc is you start where you start, you move through, sort of the impetus for the conversation. Then you end up, kind of like united with a 14-year-old talking about, mundane things in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she's fantastic and also hilarious.
I don't think I saw it with the one who was in the special. Did I? I think I saw it with the other one. Maybe not.
So both, you can actually see, so Roselli, who originated the part, is is in the film. And then you can also see Thursday Williams, who performed with us at New York Theater Workshop and on Broadway, who's really a killer debater. Terrifying. Like when she showed up in the room, she came in to audition and said she just got done debating at NYU Law School, and she'd been in the Sonia and Selena Sotomayor Institute. And, you know, she explained strict scrutiny to us, and we were like, oh no, this girl's like the smartest girl we've ever met. And she really upped the debate. Got a lot better when she joined our team. And so you can see her debate too, actually.
At the end there.
Yeah. At the end. And then you can click on another, like special material, and you can see me debate to abolish the Constitution and Thursday debate to keep it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like my inability to debate speaks to like my emotional sensitivity and immaturity and slight propensity for abusiveness. Because within 2 turns of a debate, I'm like, go fuck yourself. You know, who the fuck are you? Who are you?
Yeah. That's not
debate.
Won't win. You won't win the debate that way.
I know. It's ultimately childish business. I've been doing EMDR a bit. You know that?
Oh, my mom has been doing that. She says it's fantastic.
Oh, has she? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Around her childhood trauma?
Yeah. She's found it really helpful.
It's good if you have, you know, real incidents. You know, like it's different for me. It's like the childhood stuff. I've done it a little bit on that, but it's sort of broad, like it's emotional neglect and inconsistency and chaos, you know, but like, you know, just working it around, like lately I've been doing it around that last week of Lynn's life when she was sick in the house, you know, here, not knowing that she was dying and, you know, treating it as like a flu or something. And then, you know, eventually, you know, on the day that she was supposed to go to the doctor, you know, she collapses, and that was the end of it. So like, you know, the feelings around that are so specific. And so I've been doing it around that, and it is helping me, I think, integrate it, you know, so I can just, you know, live with the loss, you know, but I think it's very effective for that kind of stuff if you have a point of entry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I think that makes a lot of sense. Actually, my mom taught me this thing, which is called, it's sort of silly, but it's called a butterfly hug, where you cross your arms like this on your chest and do this.
Hell yeah.
And I have actually found it somewhat helpful.
Where'd you learn that? Is that like from when you were a kid, or is it a new thing?
No, it's a new thing. I think it may be related to her
EMDR thing. Like I can
with
see
the
that.
EMDR. I'm not sure, but it's like somehow it kind of grounds you, I think.
Oh,
and, yeah, you go like this, and it kind of.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
because the EMDR I do is not with the light thing, with the moving eye movement. It's like these buzzers that you hold. There's a couple of different machines, and I'm not exactly sure that I understand the magic of it, but it seems to do something. The process of it does something. So before you did this show, you worked with Annie Baker, though, right? On a big thing?
Yeah, I was in her play, Circle Mirror Transformation, which was sort of her first big breakout play in New York in 2009. She actually wrote a part specifically for me, which was a great honor. I actually, at the time I met her, she was like a 25-year-old kid who like came up to me at a theater and said, she had her like beautiful long hair and her little Converse. And she introduced herself and said she was writing a part for me. And I was like, okay, thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah. Thank you, little girl.
That's cute.
That's
nice. Yeah.
Good luck.
Exactly. And then, of course, she turned out to be this bona fide genius.
I know. I've interviewed her. I like her stuff a lot.
I know. I love that episode. I listened to that episode. And then we worked together. We're good friends, but we also worked together on I Love Dick. We wrote an episode of that show together called A Short History of Weird Girls, which is still one of my favorite things I've ever written. And working with her was really fun.
I was in and out of that series. I should go watch it.
Yeah.
A Short History of Weird Girls?
A Short History of Weird Girls.
All right. How's Annie doing?
She's great. She has a new... Not as new as mine, but she has a beautiful daughter.
Oh, that's
and,
nice.
I get to, we live fairly close to each other, so I get to see her.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You theater people. sticking together.
We do stick together.
And I have to, like, I remember vaguely, I think I remember, or maybe I just read it. But you won an Obie Award for your performance, or that play won an Obie Award?
Yes. Yeah, yes. I won an Obie Award for the performance, and then the play won as well.
And that was your second one?
Yes, I won. A few years earlier, I had done a play called The Drum of the Waves of Harakawa, which is an 17th century Japanese play by this guy Chikamatsu. I had done downtown.
Was there Suzuki in it?
There was actually no Suzuki in it. We eschewed Suzuki for that production.
Outside of Suzuki, what was your other primary training as an actress?
I didn't actually. I took acting all through college because I majored in theater, and then when I lived in Seattle, I studied. There was a great Russian teacher there, Leonid Anisimov, who came and taught for almost 6 months in Seattle. It taught Stanislavski and sort of claimed, I think it's probably true, Stanislavski's later writings were not translated. So Stanislavski, who founded, what we know as modern acting, apparently he had this whole new way of teaching at the end of his life that Leonid was supposedly teaching. And it was a really beautiful method. And then I studied with this other Russian guy, Gennady.
So he had the untranslated writings. He knew.
Apparently.
He's like Joe Smith in the plates.
Apparently. Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. Who knows if he has them or not? There's so much lore in Russia. There's so many things that
why not believe him?
Passed around. Yeah. And then I studied also this kind of Meyerhold technique with another Russian teacher who came to Seattle. And then the rest of it,
what kind of hold? Meyerhold? What is that?
Meyerhold, who was also a famous Russian actor, and acted with Stanislavski, and had another kind of method that was a more physical method of acting that he developed.
It's interesting that you seem to you bypassed the whole Americanization and legend of method bullshit, and somehow managed to tap right into direct descendants of the source material in Seattle. Yes. So you didn't have to go through that whole fucking ego clusterfuck of the Strasberg, Wynn Handman.
It's true.
Stanford Meisner and their fucking people. You were like, no, I got that.
Yeah, I never took a Meisner class.
Well, that all came
apparently
from
I got the direct.
Yeah.
But again, everyone's making the claims.
You got the pure stuff.
I allegedly got the pure
One
shit.
generation removed, but it was close. It wasn't like some second generation Jewish guy that came up through the Lower East Side and decided that he was an acting wizard. Good. Not that I have anything against them.
No, they were great acting teachers.
They were great.
Those Americans. Yeah.
Yes, they're just all great people. I'm just full of the beans sometimes. And I like throwing mythic people under the bus for a second.
No, they should be thrown under the bus.
A little bit.
That's what I say about my Russian acting teacher. I think he was the real deal, but who knows, right? Sure. Everybody is just making shit up and pretending like they're the expert. Sure. I don't know if he was the expert, but I liked him. Yeah. And I do feel like I still have my notebook from that class, and I refer to it a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
you got a craft in place. And how many plays have you written outside of What the Constitution?
Probably, I've had 4 produced in New York, and there's probably 12 there. Some of which I did in Seattle, and some of that have never been produced.
Okay, one last question. Like, are you bummed you didn't win the Pulitzer? Because that must have been a hell of a day. You got to be a little bummed. It's like you're so close.
Somebody wrote. I've been getting a lot of hateful comments because I call the Constitution a living document in this ad. So on Facebook,
the Liberty people.
Yeah, a lot of conservative and people who consider themselves originalists, I guess, have been just calling me like a moron and a communist and all these things. And someone really